we have to work at those, and we have to battle for that.
Marriage is a spiritual battleground. I mean, the enemy doesn't want us to have strong, thriving, marriages that go to a greater level of intimacy.
I think it's helped me with the whole process of communication.
I think it's helped us to respect each other more.
And I think initially it started with communication, different aspects of communication.
We learned how to listen to one another and to hear what the other person was saying.
How to fight fair.
I guess I didn't realize it, but I would speak negative occasionally, and it was an awakening for me to realize that I had to take my thoughts captive, those negative thoughts, and realize that those were not from God.
Sometimes it's my own thought process that something you're doing is irritating me, and I'm allowing it to be an irritation. It's not necessarily anything you're doing. I'm allowing something to rise up in me against you.
Couples have arguments. When they have arguments, they get off on tangents. To stick to the point, what's the real issue? And to learn how to work through that and communicate.
You saying I'm in sin? It might be you perceiving that.
Well, I tried to start out with me. And
I love this.
I had to learn how to be able to say, when you do this or when you say this, this is how I feel. This is what you're doing, and this is how it impacts me. And to do it in such a way that allowed for us to process that and to work through that.
We are more quick to respond in the correct way and say, hey, that's not something God wants for our marriage.
And Laura said something in response to a request that I made, and normally in the past it would have wrecked the next 3 days because I would have just had this thing and not knowing how to deal with it.
And so I stop and think, why am I doing that? And quickly correct that. And, we ask for forgiveness, and we don't let it go on for hours or days.
And it allowed us, I was able to say, hey, when you said this is how it impacted me. And it just within 5 minutes, it was dealt with. It was great. So, huge blessing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with just a much deeper level of intimacy, communication, feelings, being able to really relate to one another at a much deeper level than we'd ever had in our prior marriage.
Right.
For me, my natural response is to hold in retreat, but to actually, come out and say, when you do this is how this impacts me. And it's not saying that you're wrong. I just want you to be aware of how your actions, your words, your attitude is impacting me.
I think that I treasure him more than I did before.
and I love my wife unconditionally.
It's really taught me to treasure Dawn.
And the main thing I got to do for my wife is love her.